The honourable member for Murchison.
Thanks, Mr President. It must be the day for speaking about amazing and strong women. Yes. And I do go across the border, but it's because the person I'm going to speak about directly contacted me.
Very worthwhile too.
Yes, yes. I didn't think that leader would be too upset, Mr President, I trespassed across the border. But Mr President, in the short time I have today, I wish to acknowledge and recognise and celebrate the remarkable achievements and unwavering dedication of Elizabeth Beatrice Perkins OAM, also known as Libby, who has been awarded a well-deserved and somewhat overdue life membership by the Return Services League, RSL in Tasmania. Members of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association who attended last year's annual dinner will remember Libby, who graciously, with a small or perhaps large degree of pleading and persuasion from me, was our guest speaker. She entertained us and informed us in this, at the same time of her many years of dedicated and often secret service to this country. Libby was the first woman, is the first woman in 108 years to receive a life membership at the Ulverstone RSL sub-branch. Mr President, Libby's journey of service began in 1969 when, after thrusting a consent form in front of her father right before he and her mother embarked on their first overseas holiday, she joined the Women's Royal Australian Army Corps. I have heard Libby speak at this moment when she said, before my father went away, I said, "Oh, can you sign this? I want to have a try. I've probably got Buckley's." Soon after she was recruited, and she served overseas with the 9 ANZ UK Signal Regiment as a corporal in Singapore during the Vietnam conflict. Her commitment to duty and her comrades is evident from the very beginning, and this dedication continued long after her service to the WRAAC concluded in 1972. This is a life unlike any other. Libby was recruited to work with in Singapore with top secret clearance and tasked with decrypting and encrypting messages at the age of 18 when she first started this, a young woman on her own in a foreign country in a conflict zone. And her life at this time was a complete secret to her family and friends back home. She was only granted permission to speak about her experiences 30 years after her service. The experience and connections she made during this time influenced and encouraged her to join the Ulverstone sub-branch of the RSL in 2004, where she became an indispensable member of the community. Over the years, she's held numerous positions, including Vice President from 2007 to 2010, President from 2010 to 2012, and Vice President once again from 2020 until 2022. Her leadership and tireless work ethic have been a guiding light for the sub-branch, ensuring that the needs of veterans and their families are always met. She is currently undergoing state branch training to transition to Welfare Support Officer within the sub-branch, a further example of her commitment to the wellbeing of her fellow veterans. Despite living about 30 kilometres south of Ulverstone at Gunns Plains, Libby ensures her time is well spent visiting veterans, volunteers at the Visitors Information Centre and attending community meetings within the municipality. She also keeps a very vigilant eye on the welfare of veterans lying in the outlying areas. Her involvement in the community doesn't end there. When a resident Justice of the Peace in Gunns Plains retired, Libby stepped up and assumed that role. Libby regularly officiates at Anzac Day and Remembrance Day commemorations, as well as fundraising activities such as Poppy Day appeals, Anzac Day and Legacy Day badge sales, and also helps out with Bunnings barbecue activities. Libby and her husband Tom are also active members of the RAAF Association Northwest Branch. Their involvement in numerous RSL sub-branches and ex-service organisations along the north and northwest coast of Tasmania have made them well-known and respected figures within the veteran community. In 2019, Libby's dedication and passion for preserving the memory of those who served took her to the battlefields of World War I in Belgium and France as the RSL representative in the Frank Maddon Memorial Prize tour. She has maintained a close connection with the 6 students who accompanied her on that tour, and I can imagine she absolutely would. She'd be like their grandma for them. She's the grandma of many of the babies I've delivered. She might have mentioned that. Yeah. Libby's influence extends beyond the veteran community. She currently accepts speaking invitations to local and interstate organisations and commemorations where her words inspire, educate and entertain. More recently, she accepted an invitation to speak at Lions International Women's Day event where her message was very well received. Known to be a little bit irreverent at times, but we love her, she's fantastic. If you haven't heard Libby speak, you really must do so. It is worth mentioning that despite all these extraordinary contributions, it has taken 20 years to receive this life membership. She knows of men who are recognised after only a mere 12 to 15 years. Better late than never, she quips in an email she sent to me letting me know of this great honour. In an interview with the Advocate newspaper in 2002, after being deservedly awarded an Order of Australia, Libby says, "Soldiers today are not the stereotype. Nowadays, some of the soldiers are 5'1". They're mothers. I can cook scones with the best of them. But I'm not the wife of a returned soldier. I am a returned soldier." Those who know Libby have heard her speak will know exactly what I'm talking about. She might be 5'1", but she's got a huge heart. She's a truly remarkable woman who has given so much to our country, our state and to the North West community. Although it took far too long for this recognition, I do commend the RSL for rightly recognising and rewarding the decades of service and the commitment that Libby has given over her very exciting and, quite a while, very secret life.
Hear, hear.